Welcome and hi to our beloved lecturer Dr. Nur Surya. I hope you are doing well while watching this video. So in this video, my friend and I are going to share about what we have learned from the assignment given, which is we need to investigate a traditional art material in our culture around us that meets the geometrical shape and concept that we have learned in class. So we decide to study about wood carvings. Wood carving is a traditional handicraft that has a long existence in our country, Malaysia, especially among the Malays. Since Malaysia is a country that has a lot of wood product, there is about 3,000 species of wood in our country, so this wood carving is quite popular. Wood carving is a traditional Malay arts from where a sculptor scrapes the surface of a panel or plain wood to create a motif such as flora, fauna, cosmos, geometry, and calligraphy, which is among of 5 types of motifs that are quite popular use. Typically, the carving does not directly resemble the botanical thing, but is manipulated in a simple manner to look like it. Many historical records say that traditional Malay carving has existed over 500 years ago. The Malays paid special attention to the art of carving on buildings such as palace and residence at that time. The beauty of wood carving can be seen in the construction of traditional houses, especially in peninsular Malaysia, such as in Negeri Kelantan, Melaka, and Negeri Sembilan. This relic is very valuable in our culture because it symbolizes that humans in that time were very creative and innovative in producing something that lasts to this day. From time immemorial, Malay artwork reflects the talent and creativity of carvings. Our culture must be nurtured and maintained the best possible way so that its authenticity is not destroyed. So, keep everything we have received and improve so that our culture can survive forever. Wood carving activities are well known on Peninsular Malaysian East Coast, particularly in the state of Kelantan, Terengganu, Pahang, and Kedah. Kelantan, Terengganu, Pahang, and Kedah are states where wood carving are carried down through generations. But Kelantan and Terengganu are among 2 states that have managed to preserve their traditional cultural heritage that exists back thousands of years until now. This is based on the wood carving patterns found on the mosques, palaces, and historic buildings through the 2 states, such as Gerbang Melayu Kelantan that was found in the state of Kelantan. These wood carving have many uses in our daily life. These wood carving are often used as decoration and beautification in parts of buildings such as royal palace, house, construction of mosques with altars, endowment, gates, and more. Furthermore, these wood carving are not only limited to being flowers or accessories, but also can be a variety of tools that are very useful in our daily life. For example, wood carving can be a traditional musical instrument such as flutes, furniture such as closet, beds, chairs, and tables. In addition, these wood carving are also be used as cooking utensils, construction tools, and traditional transportation such as boat, horse-drawn carriage, and ox carts.
So today, I will tell you about the size of the object that we have chosen to associate with a traditional art material in our culture, wood carving. As you can see right now, this object measures 80 cm in length and 70 cm in width. A measuring tape was used to take these measurements. Following that, the image displayed at this point is an object associated with a traditional art material, namely a home decoration tool, a mirror with wood carving elements. The following presentation is Part B presentation. In this section, we have to investigate truly the geometrical shapes applied on that object. So far, we have identified 3 types of geometric shapes on the object: square, semicircle, and rectangle. On one side of the object, we discovered 2 geometric shapes with different outer and inner dimensions, a semicircle and a square. Furthermore, we discovered that the skeleton of this object was square in shape. The last geometric shape of this object is a rectangle, which has the same geometric shape but different length measurements.
For this section, I will explain about the geometrical concept of each of the shapes and the measurement, such as their length, angles, areas, and perimeter. We will also show the relationship between them based on what we have learned in the class. There are three shapes that we can discuss in this section. The first shape is square. A square is a rectangle that has two congruent adjacent sides. A square is two-dimensional plane figure with four equal sides, and all the four angles are equal to 90 degrees. A square can also be defined as a rectangle where two opposite sides have equal length. The width for the wood carving is 70 cm and the length is 80 cm. The area of the wood carving given by the formula area equal to length times width. Thus the area for the square is 5600 cm and the perimeter of the wood carving is P equal to 2 times length plus width is equal to 300 cm. The second shape is rectangle. A rectangle is a parallelogram that has a right angle. A rectangle is a four-sided polygon having all the internal angles equal to 90 degrees. The two sides at each corner or vertex meet at right angles. The opposite sides of the rectangle are equal in length, which makes it different from a square. A rectangle is a two-dimensional shape. In this R, we have three shapes of rectangle with a different length. The width for the rectangle is 8 cm and the length for the first rectangle is 30 cm. The second rectangle is 51.4 cm and the third is 63 cm. The perimeter for each rectangle is given by this formula P equal to 2 times length plus width. Thus, the perimeter for the first rectangle is equal to 76 cm, the second is 118.8 cm, and the third is 142 cm. The area for each rectangle is given by this formula, area equal to length times width. Thus, the area is 240 cm for the first rectangle, 411.2 cm for the second, and 504 cm for the third rectangle. The third shape is a combination of two geometrical shapes, which is semicircle and square. Semicircle is a plane figure that is formed by dividing a circle into exactly two parts. The area of a semicircle is half of the area of the circle. A semicircle is a closed two-dimensional shape, as the area of a circle is pi r square, so that the area of a semicircle is 1/2 times pi r square, where r is a radius. The value of pi is 3.1427 or 22/7. The radius of the outer semicircle of wood carving is 10.5 cm and the diameter is 21 cm. For the inner semicircle, the radius is 9.5 cm and the diameter is 19 cm. Thus, the area of the wood carving is equal to 173.18 cm for the outer circle and 141.76 cm for inner semicircle. The perimeter of a semicircle is the sum of half of the circumference of the circle and its diameter. As the perimeter of a circle is 2 pi r or pi d, so the perimeter of a semicircle is 1/2 times pi d plus d, or pi r plus 2r, where r is a radius. Thus, the perimeter is equal to 43.487 cm for outer semicircle and 39.345 cm for inner semicircle. For the area of outer square is 1544 cm and the perimeter is 157.2 cm. For the inner square, the area is 1114.92 cm and the perimeter is 133.6 cm. The central angle for the semicircle is 180 degrees.
Transformation is changes done in the shapes on the coordinate plane. There are 4 types of transformations such as reflection, translation, rotation, and dilation. Based on our study material, which is wood carving, there are 2 types of transformations that exist in the motif and patterns, which are reflection and translation. Let's move to the transformation that exists in the motif. Motif is a recurring subject or image, repeating a subject or shape in the wood carving. There are 2 types of transformations that exist in the motif of the wood carving, which is reflection and translation. Reflection flips the pre-image and produces the mirror image, but there are no changes in size, shape, and orientation. Translation slides or moves the pre-image and there are no changes in size or shape, but changes only exist in the direction of the shape. Based on the picture above, the red line is the pre-image of the motif. and the yellow line is the mirror image. Each point of the motif is reflected over a line called the reflection line. The reflection line is represented by the straight blue line. Based on the figure beside me, the motif in the yellow line is the translation of the motif in the red line. A translation is performed by moving the pre-image upwards. However, the shape and size of the motif remain the same. Next, we move to the transformation of the pattern. Pattern is a repetition of the shape or motif on the wood carving. There are two types of transformation that exist in the pattern of wood carving, such as reflection and translation. The figures above show the reflection of pattern on the wood carving. The pattern in the blue line is the pre-image, and the pattern in the yellow line is the image. Under reflection, the shape and size of the image is exactly the same as the pre-image. Each of the pre-image above is reflected by the straight blue line called the line of reflection. Then, the figure beside me is the translation of the pattern. Based on the figure, all the points in the pre-image which are represented by the pattern in the red line are moved in the straight line in the same direction. The pattern in the yellow line is the formed image. The size, shape, and orientation of the image are the same as the pre-image.
Based on Part A and Part B, we can analyze that the geometric shapes are important as it also influences our culture and can be used in our lives. The object of carving portrays one of the cultures that people usually have in their house. Every shape, design, size, and also the characteristic of the object has a lot of meanings for the culture and has its own function. Different shapes inside the object have different measurement of angles and length of size that are used to find the area and volume of the object, and it is related to the study of geometry. In the assignment, we use the wood carving to find the geometrical shapes as much as we can. At first, we collect the data of the wood carving such as measurement and uses. Then we list all the geometric shapes. There are squares, rectangles, and semicircles. Subsequently, geometry motif and pattern result from the use of techniques to the arrangement of trees interspersed. The motifs are displayed as whole geometric. After that, we find out the concept and transformation that each shape has such reflection. In short, a geometric image forming motif refers to formal elements such as harmony, balance, and uniqueness of Malaysian culture. There are a lot of benefits we get from this task. First, we know the origin of wood carving more than we never ever know, although we had used and familiarized with the wood carving since our childhood. Other than that, we also know the benefit of geometry. The task helps us to improve our knowledge and understanding on how important geometrical shapes are and how they are used in our lives. We also know the concepts, motifs, and patterns. For instance, geometry helps the designer to design the wood carving or any innovations, and it also helps which material, motif, or the pattern is suitable for the geometry and its function. Furthermore, there are a lot of applications of geometry. Geometry is not only in mathematical fields but also gives us application in our real life, like designing. In conclusion, this research or this assignment explains how the concept of the creation of Malay wood carving including motifs is associated by geometry. Geometry is the most obvious connection towards any of cultures such as Chinese culture and Buddhism cultures. Art and geometry involve drawing and the use of the shapes and also various forms of measurement. In addition, it also includes an understanding art special concepts like 2D and 3D measurement as the machine helps. So, geometry develops independently in many cultures in the Asian world such as in the Malay culture. There are lots of geometrical shapes in this world. Last but not least, from this task we can build cooperation and a strong relationship between our members groups. We discuss the task and complete it together. It also can improve our communication skills. In terms of culture, this task helps us be more creative. We know that there are a lot of geometric shapes, but every shape that is used in culture has its pattern and motif. In other words, every design of thing that is related to our culture has its meaning. So if we want to create new things in our culture, we should be creative by determining the appropriate geometrical shape. Thank you.